What's going on, everybody? The Lost City movie with Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, Brad Pitt. I don't know how much Brad Pitt's in it, but he was in the preview. It was funny. So, The Lost City. I don't know if I'm excited about this. It's just a new movie. Let's do the review.
Loretta Sage, getting you out of here.
Why are you so handsome?
My dad was a weatherman.
Hey, whoa, she doesn't need saving in there.
Okay.
What are you doing in there?
Alright guys, so The Lost City, it is a Sandra Bullock movie, if there ever was a Sandra Bullock movie. If you're a Sandra Bullock fan, I'm talking to my sister Mary here. Mary, you'll like this movie a lot. You will like this movie a lot. Otherwise, it's a rom-com where Sandra Bullock just kind of bumbles her way through the movie with Channing Tatum, who likewise bumbles his way through the movie. And for the women who think Channing Tatum is the most beautiful person that's ever lived, I understand why you feel that way. You'll also love this movie because, yes, there's many scenes where not only does he take off his shirt, but he takes off his pants. And they were like, this will sell tickets, and it probably will. It probably will. The movie's not all bad. It's an action-adventure rom-com, so going into it, you should know what you're going to get. There's going to be a little bit of action, a lot of adventure, and a whole lot of rom-com with these two people. Other people of note in this movie, you've got Daniel Radcliff, who I think actually does a really good job. Probably my favorite thing I've seen him do since Harry Potter. It's just, ever since Harry Potter, to me, he hasn't landed anything that's like really good. This role kind of reminds me of when he was in Now You See Me Too, but I just couldn't separate Harry Potter from that character. But now I feel like I can, and I enjoy him in this movie. He plays a good villain who's just out to get one thing, and that is the crown jewel, the fire crown jewel, whatever it's called. The other person of note in this movie, who I think is the best person in the entire movie, would be Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt, every scene he's in, he steals. He is hilarious. I loved everything about him in this movie. I really like what Brad Pitt's been doing lately. Although he does have a movie coming out where he's the main star, he's been taking these little roles in the last couple of years, and this movie is no exception to that rule. He is great in this movie. Brad Pitt definitely shines, definitely my favorite part about this movie. And don't get me wrong, Channing Tatum, his humor still works for me, it's still funny, but with Sandra Bullock, it's just, I've seen her do it so many times, and like, she has this, what's she saying throughout the movie? She's like cheese and crackers every time she has a problem. And they never explain why that's her weird nervous tick. That's just what she says. It's just a very Sandra Bullock thing. Like every time she said it, I was like, we get it. You're Sandra Bullock. We get it. Overall plot of this movie is not horrible either. There's, you know, it's an adventure that sort of happens because Daniel Radcliffe kidnaps Sandra Bullock and then Channing Tatum goes to rescue her. And I can tell you all that because all that is in the preview. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. I didn't hate this movie. It's just not a movie I'll probably ever revisit. And when I think about this movie, I will think fondly of Brad Pitt in this movie. My biggest negative for this movie, though, is not Sandra Bullock. It's actually her manager and her social media manager. Like, they're trying to be funny the entire movie, and her social media manager, thankfully, isn't in a lot of it, but what she is in is just so cringe that it's not funny. She's supposed to be cringy to the point where you're like, oh, that's kind of funny that she's dabbing in 2022, but it's not funny. It's stupid. And her manager has a whole subplot that involves Oscar from The Office, and it's horrible. I hate her subplot. I hated that character. I hated every moment she came on. I was like, let me look at the watch. Let me see what time it is, because there was no need for that. They were just padding the runtime with this subplot that her manager has, and I hated that in this movie. Speaking of Apple Watches or just watches in general, Sandra Bullock has one of these smartwatches in the movie and it never dies. Like, that's the way they're tracking her, and she's on this adventure for like 2 or 3 days and she's wearing it the whole time, and that's how her manager friend is tracking her the whole movie. There's no way without a charger that thing was lasting, and she never puts it on a charger, not once. I'm just calling out the movie for that little bit of hypocrisy. Overall, I will say that if you like rom-coms and Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum, you'll like this movie. If that is not your cup of tea, go see The Batman again, or better yet, go see X. Really liked that movie, so maybe that's the way to go. And that's my movie review. Those are my quick thoughts on The Lost City. If you enjoyed this, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to share this with your friends, make sure that by hitting the share button. If you've seen The Lost City and you want to put your comments and thoughts in the comment section down below, we'll do that so we can talk about it. And I love talking with you guys about movies. And finally, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that. We are at 246, which for me, that's a big deal. I really appreciate everyone who's watched one of my videos and been like, yeah, I'll subscribe to this guy. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for watching. It's getting kind of hot in this car. I'll see you next time.